Hi everybody, welcome back to Chris 217 channel. I'm going to do a video for you now before I go to bed. There's not going to be any play in it. I'm just going to be showcasing the JPM SRU machines and show you the evolution of the machines from the oldest one to the newest one, because each one succeeded its predecessor by having extra things done on the programming that enabled you to do different things to the previous machine. So for instance, the first machine, Eachway Nudger, we had two versions of this. We had the version 1 which had the super fast gamble, double nothing, and that was a 5p play, £1 jackpot. And it had the earlier JPM SRU drop sounds, real drop sounds, and the earlier jackpot tune, which was just a jiggle really. Now in Eachway Nudger, just to describe the differences, Eachway Nudger you can either nudge up or down with any amount of nudges you get, but you can only nudge up or you can only nudge down. We had the big plastic round hold buttons. They never lit up because you had to hold lights on the glass and they flashed when you had the hold feature. Now wins could be gambled from 10p up to a maximum of 80, or in this case it'd be 20p up to 160 max with a £2 jackpot. Following this machine we got a nudge double up, and that was not too dissimilar to this. You could either nudge up or nudge down, and it had the big round buttons like you see there, right? But you couldn't gamble the wins. So if you've got like a 20p win, it just automatically collects, right? The holes were in the glass, not on the buttons. The buttons never lit up, and they had the big round buttons. And another thing of note on this machine was, if it was holding on a win, it would hold whilst it's still paying out the previous win. So the whole lights would flash. The gambles on that machine, on the double up, you used to have nothing double, and that was for the nudges. So if you got nudges which were 5 or under, you could double it up. But when you press the gamble button to double it, it would just flash randomly up and down and stop when it wanted to. So there was no skill in trying to stop it on a double. Nudge Double Up Deluxe was next. It was an updated version of the Nudge Double Up. And on the Nudge Double Up, as we said earlier, you couldn't gamble on the wins. On Nudge Double Up Deluxe, you could gamble on the wins, and you could also gamble on the nudges as well. So that was the advancement over that machine. Now you could still nudge up or nudge down, but you couldn't nudge both ways. It had the later rectangular plastic hold buttons, as we see here. This initially came out as a 5p £1 jackpot, and then the 10p play £2 jackpot became known as double top. And even later still, in about 1981, we ended up with 5p £2 jackpot. This machine was actually a 5p £2 until I converted it. After Nudge Double Up Deluxe, we had Lighter Nudge. This initially came out as a 5p £1 jackpot, and this is one of the original 5p £1 jackpot machines. And the earlier machines had a slightly slower payout, so the pulses were slightly slower. On this machine you can nudge up or down when you landed on nudges, and to get on nudges you would have to get numbers on the win line which totaled 5 to light up the word nudge, and then you would get the feature stop. Although this machine can also give you random feature stops with no numbers or not even enough numbers on the win line. It'll just do it when it wants to do it. So we're same again, rectangle hold buttons, nudge up and nudge down, and nudge setups. Taking us on to the next SRU machine is Eachway Shuffle. This is Super Eachway Shuffle, which is a 10p play version, red glass. And the advancements on this one over the lighter nudge was the shuffle feature. You still had the nudge up and nudge down. You can nudge in any direction, up or down or both, whenever you got nudges. Also the shuffle feature, that could offer you that randomly in between nudges, so the reels would spin round. If there was nothing on the win line and it was offering you a shuffle, you could maybe shuffle it and hopefully get some better symbols to hold, or maybe a win might spin in on a shuffle. Also, the nudge feature, you get a random feature stop for the nudges. It might be flashing shuffle, and what you would do there is you'd have a look around. If the big wins were too far away, you maybe shuffle it and hopefully it'll spin around a bit nearer, give you a better chance of winning. The gamble, as per lighter nudge and nudge double up deluxe, double nothing from 20p up to £1.60. Or if you had the blue glass version, that was a 5p play with a £2 jackpot. And it was jackpot tune on both symbols, and on the 160 as well on this one. And that was the Eachway Shuffle. Next up was Lucky Twos. Now I have a two-step, which is a Lucky Twos. It's basically a 5p play version of a Lucky Twos. And like lighter nudge, you had the nudge setups where you would hold the numbers to light up the word nudge, and you would need a minimum of 5 to light up the word nudge. Although it could offer you a shuffle, and say for instance you had 3 on the win line, which would take you to D, and it offered you a shuffle, and you could shuffle it and the reels would spin around, and if a number of 3 came in, or if 1 and a 2 came in, or 3 ones or whatever, it would go to bonus, and then it would just go straight to 10 nudges. Now on Lucky Twos, 10 nudges most of the time was a jackpot, but 2 steps a 5p play version, so it has 1 less grape and 1 less melon in the middle, so a massive gap between the big symbols. The gamble ladder splits into 2 after 20p. On Lucky Twos is 40p, and it could either take you to 80p if you gamble successfully, or to £1. On Lucky Twos it was £1.60 or £2, and they're both jackpot tunes on both of those. So there's your SRUs. Now prior to the SRUs, it was electromechanical machines, and the last electromechanical machine was 1 and all, which I'd love to get hold of one of those. And the last SRU machine, which was Lucky Twos, was superseded by the first System 80 machine, Nudge Shuffle, which is not too dissimilar to this, as you all know. Similar sort of setup. Numbers on the win line award you nudges if you get enough numbers. You can also shuffle your nudges at the cost of 1 nudge per shuffle. So if you got 10 nudges for instance and there was nothing there, you could shuffle it, it'd go down to 9 and maybe something better was there, and so on, until you got a decent win or no win. Also, what I failed to mention was any shuffles on this one, if it gave you the win, it would cancel any numbers that you got on the nudge bonus. So if you're on 4 and it's spanning 2 oranges and one of the oranges had a 2 and the other one had and there's an orange there and an orange with a 2 there and something else, it would cancel all that and give it a 10p win. Anyway, I hope I've described to the best of my knowledge all the differences between the major SRUs. Some people think they're all the same. They're not. There are better differences. Each machine succeeds its predecessor by having something extra added to the programming. And to be honest, I think JPM SRU programming was ahead of its time back in the day. And they were very, very popular as well. I used to print the real glasses and the real bands for a lot of the JPM SRUs. That's what got me into them, to be honest. And the final bit of info that I haven't told you is, what does SRU mean? Well, it simply means stepper real unit. As simple as that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it's been informative for you. And I'll see you again very soon playing on some of my classic machines at Chris 217 Amusements. See you soon. Take care.